Hey everybody, welcome to SETTA'S Place. Today is a tutorial for this hot pad. I'm using the thermal stitch and I'm using a 2 strands of cotton yarn. Here is a solid version, well, a little bit of like a heathered look version. And then this is it's the same ball of yarn, and I'm just using it from the middle and from the outside, and it has all different kind of colors. So this is how it comes out. So I'm going to continue using this cotton yarn to show you how I made it. I'm using a 6mm hook. All right, I'm going to make a smaller version just so I could show you how I made my little hot pad here. Like I said, it's the thermal stitch. Then I did the crab stitch at the top, and I have a little hanger for hanging so it can dry. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I got my 2 strands of yarn. I'm going to do my starting slip knot. Now for this size here, I did a chain about from 22 to 25, depending on what size I wanted. But this is going to be a little bit smaller just so I could show you how I made it. And it doesn't have a multiple, so it could just be however big you want it to be. So you just make a chain the width of the hot pad that you want it to be, and then add a couple more chains for the turning. So I'm going to say I want it to be this width just for the tutorial. Now I'm going to add a couple of more for the turning chain. So I'm going to be doing a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn it to get that back bump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to do a double crochet. Like that. So now you're just going to do a double crochet all the way across in every stitch. Okay, I'll see you when I get to here. Okay, I made it to the last stitch. So now we are going to be working back down the piece of what we have right here. We're not going around, and we're not going to turn our work. We're just going to work back down the same piece. So what you need to do is chain 1. And then you're going to do a double crochet in this loop right here and the loop down here. So let me get my needle so I can show you a little better. Okay, so the stitch that we're going to be going into is basically this front loop. Like if you were looking at your work, if you're looking at your work like this, like where we ended, this would be your front loop. So that's going to be where you're going to insert the hook. And then you're going to go across to get the front loop of this one down here. And this is where you're going to be working into a double crochet. And your stitches, the next stitch would be this one, and then this one. Next one is this one, and then all the way down. So let's do that. Already chained 1, double crochet, you put it into the front loop, go over to the corresponding, go into the front loop. And since we're double stranded, you got to catch both of the strands. Okay, so we have 4 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to yarn over and pull through that first loop, pull through the second loop, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's your double crochet. Now it looks a little jumbled up right now, but it will straighten out real soon. Okay, so for our next stitch, now, because of the way that it looks, you might think you want to go here, because but you are already in this stitch. If you pull this up like where it's supposed to be, you are already in this stitch right here. So you're not going to work into this one. You're going to go down to the front loop of this one. And then your corresponding one is right there. Okay, here we go. Yarn over, go into the loop, into the next loop over, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that's how it's looking so far. So here we go again. Our next loop is right here. Not that one, this one right here. Yarn over, go into our loops, to the next one, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. That's how it is looking so far. Now we're going to do that all the way down. But before I get any further, I have a tip that I found helped me when I get to the end. When I get down here to this last stitch, because you're doing this, you're basically closing up these stitches like this. So when you get to the end, you can't tell, it's hard to tell where you're supposed to be. So I put a stitch marker. Before I get there, I mark where the last stitch is supposed to be. So this right here, and then this one right here, that's your last stitch. So when you get there, you don't have to try to look for it. It's already marked. And you'll see when I get there what I mean, because it's really squished up and you're like, well, where, if it wasn't marked, it'd be hard to see. Okay, so let's go. Go ahead and finish up. Come down. I'll do a few more with you. So it looks like that might be it right there, but it is not. You come over to this one. It is a very thick fabric, so that's why these are good for hot pads, because they're really nice and thick. Okay, so it looks like it might be that one, but it's not. Come over to here. Okay, I'll catch up with you when I get closer to the end. Okay, I am near the end, and here, so now I have 2 more stitches left. This one right here, and then the one I have the stitch marker in. Okay, so let's finish this row. Then, now where the stitch marker is, you just put it right where the stitch marker. Go through that one. Through that. Then take it out. Then do your double crochet. there is your second row, because we did this row down here. This is row 1. This is row 2. And I just love how that works up. Okay, for the next row, what we're going to do, okay, we're going to start the next side here. And our next row, I made my stitch a little, I made my stitch a little too kind of tight right here. So I wanted to show you, like, we're going to go through this one. But then over here, we're going to go through these, because my other loops are hidden under here. So that's the other half of the loop. So we're going to go through these right here, here, and here. Then the next one's here, and this one. I made this one kind of loose and that one kind of tight. So just try to make your stitches as even, as possible tension-wise. But it's not always possible, so just make sure you get the right stitch. Okay, chain 1. Go under the loops. Go into the next one. The next one. And you continue that all the way down. Oh, well, let's go ahead and mark our end stitch so that when we get there, we don't have to worry about trying to figure out where to go. So come back down here. Kind of open it up a little bit so you can see it real good. Okay, you can see that these two go together right here. So this one is kind of flipped down. Here's the top of it. Here's this one here, and this one right here. So that's where you can put our stitch marker. Here and here. Let's go back up here and we're going to finish this side. Once you get a rhythm going and you get used to it, it goes pretty fast. I really like how these work up. All right, I'll see you when we get back to the stitch marker. Okay, I have 2 stitches left. Let me go ahead and get this one. And our yarn is changing color. The purple's coming through, the purple and the orange. And now we're going into the stitch marker. Like that. It is so pretty. So now let's do it again. Chain 1. Take your time to look for where your stitch is, and it is right here. Go into our stitches, and the more you get done, the easier it's going to be to see which stitch you need to go into. So you continue on down, doing the same thing that we just did. Make sure you mark your ending stitch. Like I said, it's not a requirement, but it sure does help to keep you going. That's how I found, because when I did not mark it, I was taking time trying to figure out where it is, you know. But this way, it's already done. All right, keep going, and I'll meet you at the end. And then I'm going to show you how I end it and add my little thing on the corner for hanging. Okay, I'm to my last stitch where the stitch marker is. There. So pretty. So now you're going to repeat the same row over and over again to get it to the height that you want it to be. And then when you get to your last row, we're going to pretend this is my last row, like this is the size I want. I'm going to do one more. And you can do it as a double crochet, but I like doing the single crochet because this gives a little bit more of a finished edge. You're going to chain one. So what you're going to do, you're not going to yarn over. You're just going to go under both, under the one on that side, pull up a yarn and go through two, and then make a single crochet. Do the last two. Don't yarn over. Go through both of your loops under just the one loop like you normally would. Pull through those two, yarn over, and pull through two. So you're just doing a single crochet. Go under both loops. Make sure I get that right. Under the one loop, pull up, and single crochet. And you're going to do that all the way down. Go through both loops. Just the one loop. Come through and single crochet. Let's go ahead and mark our stitch down here so that we know where to stop. So it would be this one and both of these on this one. You're getting both. Okay. Okay, I'll meet you when I get to the end. Okay, I have 2 stitches left. This, when you get to both of those, get that one, single crochet. And then we have run this marked. And that is their single crochet row. I think that gives it more of a finished look with that single on there. So that's how that is looking. So we're going to, now I'm going to show you how I do to put the little hook on it and then finish off with the reverse single crochet. So all I do is chain how big you want your loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just test it out. That looks too small to me. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I just turn it over and okay, that looks big enough for me. But you can make them any size you want. And then I just slip stitch back into that corner stitch, that very first stitch. Just slip stitch into there. Like that. Now you have your little loop. So what I do next is I get on this first stitch right here. I chain one. That way I'm over right over it. So now we're going to do our reverse single crochet or the crab stitch, whichever you call it. So I also have a tutorial on how to do the reverse single crochet or crab stitch. If you want to, and I show it a little slower. If this is a little too fast for you, that will be in the description box. But basically, you're going in the reverse and you're doing single crochets. And all I do is I go into the stitch. Let me see, this one is already, is that one taken already? I go into the stitch, pull up a loop, and go through both. That's a single crochet. Go into the stitch, pull up a yarn, and then go through 2. Go into the stitch, yarn over, and you have your, your 2 loops. I mean, this is double stranded, so it's 4, but it's 2 loops. Pull yarn over and go through 2. So you're getting a reverse single crochet. And I just do that all the way across. And like I said, if this is a little too fast, I do have a tutorial in the description box on how to do this a little slower. I'm going to go all the way to the last stitch, like that, and that is it. Let me cut, so you cut your yarn. I'm not going to cut my yarn because I want to make this bigger, so I'm going to take it loose. Take this last bit of loose and make it a little bigger. But you would just cut your yarn and sew in the ends. And there he is. That's how I made my hot pads. Let me show you a couple of more of different colors. Here's a orange, like a heathered orange one. And it's a little bit smaller. And then I showed you the purple, and it's a larger one. And the thicknesses, I made them all like a bunch of different sizes. And all these different colors, I think they're beautiful. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. So you just sew in all your ends, and you are good to go. Be sure to check the description box for other tutorials and stitch library that I have. And yeah, and hope I can help you make something else. All right, I'll talk to you later, and have a blessed day.